All right, we're live. Welcome back to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show. It's presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox, Big Ev, and Jack Mack here yet again to discuss UFC Austin, the great card that was UFC Austin. We'll talk a little bit about PFL, the upcoming PFL fight, which me and Ev, we're going to. This was like a last-minute thing, but we're going to be at the next PFL fight on Friday.
I'm fucking excited.
It's in Atlanta.
That's going to be sick.
We're going down tomorrow. It was like a last minute. We just booked our flights today. But breaking news, me and Ev will be in the corner of Anthony Showtime Pettis. Maybe not literally in the corner. Not for the fight.
I don't think he wants our advice.
But for the fight week, we'll be in the corner
morale
of Anthony
guys, camaraderie
Showtime
guys.
Pettis. Yeah, for real. What was Caleb's? The supervisor of morale?
Yeah, maybe like give him some water.
Basically our job for this
Maybe
week.
like a hey,
kind of unreal.
He's
a former guest on the Spinnin Backfist show. So shout out Anthony Pettis for even agreeing to all of that. It's
also said
fun.
Big fan of his. He said he was pro-fat MMA critic. So
He did say that.
I was very appreciative of
that. Was a
that.
great
Yeah.
question.
He said
Very,
some people
very,
just have
very
the eye.
appreciative of that.
And you have the eye, I would say.
I try. I appreciate that. Looking forward to seeing our friend again.
We're also going to have two guests on this show from Bellator, Johnny Eblen and also Danny Sabatello, who's one of the most, uproarious names on the scene this year. He had a great post-fight interview. I think it was in Hawaii.
Great
where he
promo.
fought.
Yep.
And he's a great promo, great interview. I'm sure that's going to be great. Both of those guys are joining at 4:15 and 4:30. I'm not sure who's going first. I didn't hear from Bellator who will go first, so it'll be a surprise. It's like a Royal Rumble entrant. Should
Got
be fun.
a little dealer's choice.
Yeah, should be fun. We should start probably with UFC Austin. I mean, we can talk headlines as well. The big one being, I think, Nate Diaz tweeting up a storm, as always. When is he not tweeting up a storm at this point? But he says, release me. I got bigger things to do, or give me a fight or release me. I got bigger things to do. And he tweeted a video of Jake Paul knocking Tyron Woodley out.
He wants Jake Paul.
Makes sense.
I would love to see him fight Jake Paul.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely would.
I think Nate Diaz would be. I think give him more than a run for his money.
And Jake is the one that doesn't have an opponent yet for August 6th.
Yeah.
Probably it would be like in November, December.
I've heard some rumblings of I don't know if I'm like even allowed to say
scoops
of who's going to fight.
of who I think I know who it is.
Can you say like is it?
I think I'm allowed to.
Yeah, then do it.
Yeah.
I think it's Tommy Fury. I believe it's who he's fighting.
I saw tweets about that.
I think that's who. My understanding was that's who.
That's
it is.
I'm really interested in that fight. That fight is something that like I was going to watch that card no matter what. Now I'm excited for it.
This
because I really want to see how
feels to me like for Jake, it's like.
But Tommy Fury, like I think there's so many storylines there. This is his
you don't
first.
Think Jake just runs over him?
I don't know. That's the thing. Is Tommy Fury just because of his last name and he's just a bum? He's been fighting bums left and right forever. But then also it's Jake Paul, who we think is a legit fighter, going up against the brother of possibly the pound for pound number one, definitely pound for pound top 10 in boxing right now. And also, is this guy just like a Love Island reality TV star, or is he legit? And his father said if Tommy Paul loses to Logan or to Paul, he's going to disown him.
Yeah.
He's like you have to quit boxing.
Yeah.
I think there's so many storylines.
That's interesting.
I'm really interested in.
Like, will he get disowned?
I don't think he's going to get disowned, but I think he's going to get knocked out. I really do.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I went in a big rant about this like a while ago when he was going to fight Tommy Fury. This even to me is not even me gassing up Jake Paul. This is that Tommy Fury is not a good boxer.
Yeah.
At all. I actually think Woodley is better. Like I think this is a step back.
Really?
That's sort of what I was thinking.
He's just bigger. Tommy Fury is much bigger. He's much taller and bigger than Ty
Tommy's
Woodley is.
what, 6?
I think he's legit like 6'1". No, I don't think he's that big. I think he's like 6'1". Like I think he's about Jake Paul size. Like he's like 6'1".
And Tyson's his half
probably
brother?
half brother. I think
Okay.
he walks around probably north of 200 pounds, about the same as Jake Paul. And they probably fight at like
that's good for Jake.
190-ish. They're probably. I think
you
they're
take away the fight somebody your size thing.
Exactly. And it's someone who they've been asking for a real boxer. He's technically a real boxer.
He's someone that considers himself primarily a boxer.
Yes, he only boxes. I think he's like 8 or 9-0, something like that in that range.
He's the brother of the
He's the brother of the heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
heavyweight champ and one of the biggest stars in combat sports.
For sure.
Hopefully he lets his dad do most of the talking for him. That'll be for the most entertaining.
Well, that's
pre-fight.
what it was before he pulled out for the last one.
Yeah.
His brother, his dad, like I think Tommy Fury understands the Paul brothers a little bit more. He's like, I get it. They're trying to build a fight. Like they're reality stars. I'm on Love Island. Like I get it. His dad's like, no, these guys are fuckheads. Like he's like the boomer that's like, I want to fucking kill these kids.
Yeah.
They're annoying. They don't know what life's about. He has like an anger behind him when he talks. I think he wants to beat both of them up.
It's like I don't think he knows who like his own son is.
No.
Like your son's a Love Island kid who
I'm with
it actually was relayed to me recently that he was one of the bigger simps on the show.
Oh, really?
So I have never seen
I didn't know that either.
He is still with the girl that he was with on the show. Basically, what I was told.
What's her name?
I don't.
She's like one of the biggest stars that come out of Love Island.
What I was told how the show works is you start in like one place, you hit it off with somebody, and then when you hit it off with someone, then I think it switches off season to season. But say for this one, the girl leaves and hangs out with like another group of guys, and you can either kind of like stay with them or come back.
Ooh.
And Jake and like Tommy Fury apparently was there, was just freaking out the whole time, just like really like not messing with any of the girls, was like very like ready to basically propose to this girl. And she went there and was like mingling with some other dudes.
Oh, no.
I believe I don't think had sex with any of them or anything. My understanding was she maybe made out with one.
Molly May.
But she did come back. She did come back. But to me, I think that's, I don't know, simp. That's simp behavior.
Molly May is very popular, and she had a little bickering between who went out with Paul?
With Jake Paul?
Yeah, what was her name?
Julia Rose. That's his girlfriend now still.
They're still together? I thought they broke up. Never mind. So they're still together.
I believe they're together.
Julia Rose and Molly May had a little bit of little bickering back and forth.
Well, Julia Rose, which actually blew my mind, she was on Are You the One? Actually, one of my favorite like trash dating shows on Netflix.
Are You the One? Okay.
What's the concept?
It's basically each person, you have a pair, like you have a perfect match, and you go into a house and you don't know who it is, and you have to kind of like basically mingle with each other and try to figure it out, and then you like get voted into what they call the truth booth. You go in and they say you're either a perfect match where you go to the honeymoon and you're like away, like it's like you're like money in the bank. Like basically there's $1 million, and if you get by the end of like say whatever is 8-10 weeks, whatever it is, if you get the 10 pairs correct, you all split $1 million.
So everyone's working together.
Yes, but then it gets dicey when a couple is hot and heavy together. Then they're not a perfect match, and they're both like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, no, fuck you. We want this money. You need to like stop talking to each other and fucking each other and go try to fuck someone else and see who your actual
great concept
match is.
There.
It's awesome. And she was like the ultimate like mastermind. Like she was like all the guys were in love with her, and she would keep bouncing around from like guy to guy. She was very interesting.
She was Queen Bee.
She was the Queen Bee on probably the best season.
Very interesting. I've never heard of that show, but I always wondered.
Great watch. If you're into like trash dating TV, which I am personally, it's phenomenal.
I was always wondering how Julia Rose rose to fame.
Yep, that was it. And it was crazy to me because I was very aware of her with Jake Paul and like the MLB thing where she showed her tits on TV.
Yeah.
That was pre or post?
That was no, that was post the show.
Gotcha.
But the whole time I'd watched the show, she definitely maybe had a little work done or something. I didn't realize it was her. And then all of a sudden they clicked 2 and 2. I was like, wait, that was Julia from Are You the One season 4. And I was like, holy shit, now Jake Paul dates her.
So that should be very fascinating to see if maybe Molly May and Julia Rose, because they're also both massive. Like Julia's massive, Molly May's massive. If the girlfriends can get involved a little bit, that adds another storyline.
Maybe a little undercard.
Big time.
I don't think they're going to fight.
Speaking of an undercard, let's talk about the undercard of UFC Austin. That was awesome. Kicked off with 3 knockouts. The first one was a first-round knockout. The third one was a first-round knockout. Phil Hawes sandwiched in between him with a second-round knockout, but that could have been over in the first. This was an awesome card start to finish. Roman Doldiz knocks out Kyle Dawkins, ruins the parlay.
Ends the parlay
into the
comically
fight card.
fast.
Comically
The Darce Knight went down hard. That was
he
tough.
got beat up.
Phil Hawes, pride of Little Ferry, great performance, probably a career best for him. Beat the shit out of Darren Wynn. Did you see Wynn's breakdown of his
I was
own
just
fight?
going to bring it up. Hilarious.
Very funny. Here's where he elbows me for the 3 millionth time.
You're just commentating him just getting his ass kicked for like 6.5 minutes.
Darren Wynn didn't look like a UFC fighter in there.
No, he looked bad.
Honestly, even obviously they are the same weight. It looked like it was like a middleweight versus like a featherweight.
It was
he just beat the shit out of him.
It was not fair. It was shocking. But I will give it to Darren Wynn, or credit to Darren Wynn from the perspective of he did eat some shots and threw some shots back. Phil Hawes, he didn't get connect. 100%. But Phil Hutz did eat some shots back.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It kept coming, and then obviously finished them. He could have finished them in the first round, I feel like.
Yeah. He was patient, though, which I liked.
Yeah, he was.
No, he looked good. Gas. He could have done that all night.
Yeah. Eddie Wineland versus Cody Stamann went exactly how we thought it would. This one was 59 seconds, one round. I gasped
just
when Eddie Wineland walked
him.
out, and they said he just signed a 4-fight deal that begins tonight. I was like, excuse me? Why?
That was bizarre.
I can't imagine he's gonna. I mean, he took his gloves off, right?
Yeah, he tweeted or he put on Instagram with like his gloves and his shorts and just said like, I'm done.
I mean, good call. I hate to tell people when to retire, but it's scary watching that guy fight.
He referenced some rock song in it. He's like, I'll bring it up while you're still talking. But he referenced in his retirement post, he was like, this is the way I wanted to go out, or something like that. Like
that's the way you wanted to go out?
No, he was like, I wanted to go out after living like my dream. And even though I lost my last fight, I think I did what like all I could do.
Respect. He's a legend.
It's tough now. Just obviously he was good for some like WEC days and like early UFC days. It's tough that it's kind of like the newer fans will only know him as like I feel like he's kind of known as the guy like he got viciously knocked out by Sugar Sean.
Yeah. I didn't get an opportunity to leave my gloves in the cage, but as Jim Morrison once saying, this is the end. The road I've traveled over the past 20 years, seen the highs and lows. It's been a fun ride, but the train has reached its final destination.
You know, that's mature of him because it takes. I feel like you see so many of these guys, especially someone who signed a 4-fight contract, who might go in there and just get beat up on a few more times. Yeah. Like, I respect to him knowing that it was the right time, and God bless him. Good luck the rest of it.
Doesn't some last people a minute, yeah.
Some people were mad at DC for not interviewing him because they were like, "Oh, why didn't you give him his last and final?"
Oh yeah,
but he said on Instagram yesterday. Second, he was like, first of all, thanks for all the love and support. And then second, it's not DC's fault for not interviewing me. Nobody knew, myself included, knew that I was going to retire after that fight. So I think he decided he was just like, no,
I think Dana's got the respect for a guy like Eddie Wineland, where if Wineland told him beforehand, hey, I'm going to retire, can I have the mic for a second?
Yeah.
I think they would give it to him. Especially early on in the card like that. It's not like it was late and they were short on time.
I don't even think he took the gloves off like in the cage.
He said, I had wrestled with that decision quite a bit in the weeks leading up to the fight and still was uncertain what road to take. In the end, the right decision was made. So, I mean, it's retiring these guys. It's always tough.
That he's happy with the decision, it sounds like. Hopefully he doesn't go back on it.
Yeah,
like
he has
so
two
many
kids.
Fighters do. Respect. There you go, Eddie Wineland. Maybe he'll start some kind of mustache, like
mustache mafia
oil business. I don't know.
Mustache
beard oil.
business.
Women's strawweight division, our first decision of the night, Maria Oliveira versus Gloria DePaula. Maria Oliveira came to fight in this.
Yes, she did.
Unbelievable performance by her. A lot of respect. 13-5 fighter. We didn't think she was going to come out this strong.
No, but I also I don't know. It's like I thought DePaula won. I don't think I understand why Oliveira won. But it seemed like a lot of people were giving credit to her for just like running forward and just like I don't even know how many of the punches even landed. Obviously, you can look at strikes thrown versus strikes connected, but even some of them were like DePaula would back up and then it would hit like a wrist or a hand. Like I don't count that.
Bounced her back a little.
I mean, DePaula's issue. I thought DePaula won 1 and 2, but even like 3, even 3.
Bitch was just
screaming. She was just screaming. There was a
running forward and yelling.
She was just young, but it was almost like, why are we rewarding this? She was just running forward, yelling, and then just going like this. But she didn't really even connect. She got those takedowns in the third round, but then also DePaula kind of got back up and connected more in that round. I don't know. I had DePaula in a lot of parlays, so I was a little bummed about it. But
what was DePaula, like minus 275?
Yeah, like 265, something like that.
It's not like you can call it a robbery, but it wasn't.
Oh, I'm not calling it a robbery.
Yeah, no, you can't call it a robbery, but it's like it's something that you definitely don't like agree with at the end of the day.
I didn't really just like the first 2 rounds. Like Oliveira may have been more active, but
I was also realizing as I set that up, I was thinking of the Silva fight.
Yes, that
was the fight where I was stunned by an underdog.
Yeah.
This one was the closer fight.
Maria Oliveira, I will give credit to her. She did look the best she's ever looked in, like looked better than I expected her to. But I still think DePaula won that fight. She looked like the better fighter.
Here's the strike stats for you. Gloria DePaula landed 116 out of 205 total strikes,
which is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Maria Oliveira 99 out of 303.
So like there you go. She threw 303 strikes, but She only connected on a third of them.
Yeah, not even.
Gloria DePaula landed 20 more strikes and threw 100 less.
And then I guess you could be like, oh, the takedowns, but the takedowns in the third round were just like
didn't progress from.
They
them,
didn't
right?
know she got up, right?
Yeah.
Not up right away, but almost right away. It was just, I don't know. I get why she won, but I wasn't shocked. It's not a robbery, but I scored it personally 30-27 to Paula, but I got why someone gave it 29-20 Oliveira.
That was a quick detour on our trip of just straight up knockouts.
Oh, yeah.
That was a decision. And then we went
It was
right
a
back
good fight,
to the knockouts.
That was
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
I thought even both women's decisions fights on the prelims
Were
I
good.
thought were good,
Yeah,
entertaining
yeah.
fights. Ricardo Ramos versus Danny Chavez.
Oh, my God.
1 minute and 12 seconds.
Spinning back elbow.
Oh my God.
From
this was
hell.
brutal.
It was
Yeah.
perfect.
He
Yeah.
lit him like, on the
Literally
temple.
perfect.
Yeah.
Because
Like right here.
Because he didn't go down. He was just out on the cage. And then you could tell he like came back into it and he was like, yo, like, why are you, I'm standing up.
Yeah.
Like, why? So he's like, no, you were
That was another funny.
You were standing unconscious.
Another funny moment from Darren Wynn in his breakdown. It almost looked like when he was looking at Herb, like, why'd you stop it?
And then just collapsed.
In his breakdown, he's like, here I am looking at Herb, like, what took you so long? Another first round knockout in our next fight, Jeremiah Wells versus Court Mcgee, another old timer where you're like, we were talking about him. Oh, you know, we like to root for Court Mcgee, underdog Court Mcgee, especially.
Didn't get to see that gas tank.
No.
Got to give the Wells credit. I mean, he's a very explosive, very powerful athlete.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I mean,
It's definitely going to be curious to see him get in a dogfight with somebody into a third round.
yeah.
Because all his fights have ended in the first two. But I mean, that was a monster left
At
hook.
34,
Yeah.
can
Monster
he
left hook.
improve his cardio that much? I don't know.
It's a good question.
Because at 34, I think it's like, this is who you are.
But you
Yeah.
know, it's like, but we haven't really got to like see it either way, though. You know,
That is
Like-
true.
like we
No,
have-
I'm
like-
not-
like he might, like, we
Has
just-
he ever been
early
rounds in his career?
the second round, both fights. So we just like I was like someone with his body type and the way he's a fast starter.
Yeah.
You would think he probably doesn't have as good a cardio as someone like a Court Mcgee,
I think
but we just haven't really got to see him use it or not use it yet.
I think on his prelim tape, some people were saying his cardio is suspect. But
I can see it.
That's also, you know, things can change. There's always a billion factors. And maybe he turned up his cardio routine a little bit.
Mcgee was like viciously out cold.
Also,
I mean, he's
He
unbelievable.
was like
Yeah.
dead.
Great question from the chat. A little higher up there, Peyton wanted to know better overall fight night, London or Austin? Really close.
I think I'm still London.
I think I'm biased to London because I was there, but I don't know if that's just because I was there.
The crowd energy in London was better for sure.
Yeah.
Really close fights. Like this had more knockouts. But I mean, when you
Did
think
it tie the record this card?
I think I know
Like
it at least tied it
8
for
finishes, I think.
knockouts. No, it tied for knockouts.
Oh,
It
knockouts.
also
And think
set
of-
the first round knockout.
yeah, that too. And think we'll obviously get to it, but Kevin Hollins could have been a knockout if
For
he
real, yeah.
that could have broke the
Instead of a
record if he just
submission.
didn't just go for the DARs quick.
Unreal. And then the highlight fight of the prelims changed last minute because the Joe Lozon versus Donald Cerrone fight got canceled. That was a weird thing too. Did you see Lozon's video?
It was like his knees were tightening up and he
Like
just
his
couldn't. They were
one
like
knee,
buckling.
he said he went to put socks on after he weighed in and it just locked. And he was like, that's weird. And he was trying not to bring attention to it because Cowboy was in the room, like people were in the room. So he put like a fake choke on his coach. He was like, I'm messing around. I'm choking you. And the coach just walked out with Lozon on his back because he couldn't put any weight on his leg. Goes back to the room, calls the doctors. They work on it for a full day. He can't put an ounce of weight on it. Some random guy messaged him on Instagram. Hey, Joe, I went through this a couple years ago. Here's the stretch you got to do. Does a quick stretch, knee pop back into place. He's fine. 1,000% fine.
Yeah, it's like a fibula tibula.
How crazy is that?
Because I saw something that's fascinating. I saw something that said because it got canceled. Obviously, was it the day? Was it morning of or was
Morning
it?
of, yeah.
Because then it was something about like the next day or like later that day. He was like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
Brutal.
Like
It's a shame.
come time for the fights, he was just watching them fine. He said he could jump on his leg, he could move it, run.
And just one simple stretch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy how the human body works, man.
Insane. Natalia Silva versus Jasmine Jasudavicius, though. This was the fight where I was referring to earlier. We did not expect Natalia Silva to be this good. I know we mentioned, okay, people have said she's better than the odds are giving her credit for. I know her last loss was a while ago on her record, but wow, what a performance. She was a beast.
I mean, so we sat here and I was discussing how I kind of liked her as an underdog shot, but then I when I spent some time on like Friday night, Saturday morning watching some of my favorite MMA betting YouTubers and whatnot. A lot of people were just really on the side of Jasmine, thinking like this girl rocks. She should run through her. I'm not going to bet her. It's a large line, but I think she's going to go out there and fight well. I then decided to go against my own personal opinion and then watched. I didn't bet Jasmine, but I did watch. And I was like, oh man, I did have the right read off the bat. But sometimes I do. But like you said, amazing performance. Jasmine, kind of disappointing, but also she's not that old, I don't think. So she can come back.
She's like 31.
Yeah. I mean, that is a little, yeah. So, I feel like how old's Holly Holm?
I want to say, she's 40? Like 40. Yeah, she's old.
She's probably the oldest female fighter we've seen, right?
She might be.
Got it. Yeah, up there for sure.
She's now talking about
Roxanne was probably like 38, 37.
Yeah, I think females,
which is crazy because she permanently looked like 14.
Yeah,
I think female fighters more so it's a younger woman's game, but I think that's probably just because you could say that about the similar weight classes for the guys and those. Because
you could also say it about like the eras in which they came up training.
That's true.
If a girl is 40, she came up training in an era where she probably had to go to a boxing gym and then go to a jiu-jitsu gym. And now it's like a young girl like Mcgee Barber grew up in an era where it's just like she goes to the MMA gym every day.
Aaron Blanchfield, she just goes to MMA gym.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I was just thinking like 31 for a male heavyweight, light heavyweight is a lot different than a 31 for a female fighter, but that may be due to weight and whatnot, because obviously we see like heavyweights, you hear a heavyweight's 31, it's like, oh, you got a decade left if you want to fight. But so we'll see if she can progress, but that was a really impressive performance.
She looked legitimately like top 15.
Yeah,
I would say
2-1 underdog. That line, I think that was the worst line of the night.
Well, yeah, but like at the same time, for like the odds makers, like she hasn't fought in 3 years.
Oh,
and before that, she was just a submission artist, and she looked way improved on the feet. Like she looked like she was a stand-up artist on the feet and only got knockouts. Like,
our FPS is all messed up. Are we on the right Wi-Fi?
We're not on Wi-Fi. We're hardwired. It is messed up though. I see the FPS. It's like almost like a stop motion.
It's happened again. This hasn't happened a little bit.
Brutal. All right. Hopefully the audio is there. Thank you for everyone watching through the technical difficulties here. Adrian Yanez and Tony Kelly kicked off the main card, and Adrian Yanez did what everyone wanted him to do in this, what it felt like everyone wanted him to do. He kicked his ass from every angle. I saw a great tweet where he was hitting him from literally every angle to end the fight. Then he gave him the double bird to end it. It was nice.
That picture, you've seen the picture?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Of him just flipping out and he's just fucking slumped over.
Yeah.
You've seen Tony Kelly saying he wasn't out?
What are you
like saying it was like an early stoppage? I was like, you were getting mauled.
And then afterwards went up to him and was like trying to be like, hey, we're good. We're good. And Giannis was like, yeah, we're fine.
I love Giannis,
Get out
man.
of here. Yeah.
He's quickly becoming one of my favorite fighters to watch.
He did the I'm not suspended, you're suspended.
Yeah. He said, I'm not out, you were out.
Yeah.
What? I was like, what?
I
knocked you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that last punch when he like sat him down on his ass and then kind of was like at that side angle and just was like bang.
Yeah.
And just, oh my God.
And did you notice the referee kicked Tony Kelly in the face while he was breaking it up?
He definitely let him get extra shot or two for sure.
The ref literally kicked him right in the face.
The ref is like Yanez like 4 times. I think they know each other like, pretty well.
You see Logan, what he said Giannis said he wants a rematch.
Hot take though. Well, Giannis is number 15 now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he's ranked, and I think very well deserved
it. Yeah.
Hot take. I don't think he's top 15.
Really?
At all.
Bantamweight is it's deep. I'll give you that, but he's really good.
I think Tony Kelly is a maybe like 45 to 55 fighter. I don't think
really?
Tony Kelly is that good.
Beat Randy Costa, right?
He beat Randy Costa, and
It's a good win.
If Randy Costa loses to Gito Canetti, like that fight just got booked. Like he's out of the UFC.
Yeah, for that is true. I don't think he's gonna lose to Canetti, but
yeah,
I would agree with the theory if he lost for sure. But
I don't think it's a good enough.
Canetti.
I don't think it's a good enough win to put him in the ranks of like in like if he beats one ranked fighter, he's facing like a Song Yadong. Do we think he's like ready for that.
I think he could give Song Yadong a run for his money. Maybe I'm being bullish on him.
Like a step up.
Maybe I'm being bullish on him, but I think he could at least give him a fight. Like I don't think he would just get. See, Song is tough because he has such knockout power. Mm-hmm. Like obviously he could just knock him out. That's possible. So in theory, if he just knocked him out early, he'd be like, yeah, he ran through him. But I think they fight 10 times. Like I think he definitely gives him a run. His kickboxing is just unbelievable. He's got such good striking.
He's quick too.
Fast. His pure boxing is great.
Really good. Really
good. Is. But I don't know if he's. I think he needed one more fight at that like right before rankings to deserve a top 15. I like him. All right, I'm not hating on Adrian Yanez, of course not. But I don't know if he's really that much better. Like Jack Shore, exactly. Jack Shore is not top 15, and I think Jack Shore would destroy Adrian Yanez. Jack Shore would out wrestle Yanez.
Yeah, see, well, the one thing I was going to say, I will give bantamweight is absolutely deep, and Yanez has not fought a real wrestler, which that I will give you that. Like saying like Merab, like I think Merab would crush him 100%. He's such like a fun fighter, and the one I would say. The better win than Tony Kelly is, I would say, Davey Grant.
Yes,
like absolutely. That was a good fight, and he won that that was a very good fight, but he won that, in my opinion, pretty decisively. Yeah. He was definitely better. I think Davey Grant's much better than Tony Kelly.
I'm trying to.
What is he? 5-0 in the UFC? Yeah, Giannis 5-0.
Yeah,
and I believe it's 4. He's got a bonus in all 5 fights. Like 4 like performance, and then 1 was the fight of the night with Davey Grant.
I think I would have liked him to get like any of these guys, Umar Nurmagomedov, Kyler Phillips,
him and Phillips would be a really good fight. I'd like to see that.
Casey Kenny,
also a very good fight. I'd like to see that as well.
Chris Gutierrez,
good fight for sure.
Like any of those guys, I think are like right there in that 20 to 25 range. And if he would win one of those fights, I think he for sure gets it.
That's fair. I think I remember watching Giannis in Contender Series, so I feel like I have this little place in my heart for him. I just kind of I just really like watching him fight. And also, throwing him to 15 was probably a little bit. I think Dana got excited. He got a really big pop. He's a Texas kid
from Texas, and
he got a huge pop. And I think
a couple guys from Texas.
I think that pop plus what he did, like just how well he performed. I think Dana was like had a little hard on for him there. Was like throw him the number.
Definitely.
He's 5-0, like kind of throw him the number. But I like somebody saying in the chat, like I agree. Like I think Umar Nurmagomedov would give him very big problems. That would be a very tough fight for him. Giannis is a guy like I feel like I just want to see him fight strikers because he's so exciting. Yeah. But people throwing out these good wrestlers like Merab and like Umar Nurmagomedov, and even Jack Shore, I agree would
be a great fight.
Would definitely give him some issues.
Jack Shore against Giannis.
Yeah,
that'd be really interesting.
That one would be a really good fight. Jack Shore, I would imagine would be the favorite. Giannis has been a big favorite in most of his fights.
I rate Shore
like
striking. I rate Shore striking very high, and then he can also, of course, wrestle.
It looked great in his last fight. He really good.
I love Jack Shore. He's awesome.
We're gonna get to see him in Long Island.
Next fight in the middleweight division, another first-round knockout. Julian Marquez was the one knocked out against Gregory Rodriguez. Too. This was a slugfest. Like Marquez was getting rocked.
His chin was crazy.
This was one of those fights where I thought we could have gotten one of those like Travis Brown, Andre Arlovski.
I was thinking there was a second where I thought we might.
Yeah.
And I had bet on Marquez, so I was really hoping for it.
Yeah.
But I'll give it. RoboCop looked awesome. He looked really, really, really good.
Looked like a fucking RoboCop.
Marquez is. I mean, he's got that big like. Almost that like crimson chin, like fake, that big head, like big extended chin, like big
with the beard too.
Yeah, with the beard, like big sprawling, strong guy. And like there was a few shots that I think would have put most people out that he hung in there.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he was that he threw.
He was throwing some bombs for sure. Yeah. He definitely was. He threw a couple that I think had he not thrown in that moment would have got stopped. And he was throwing just enough to keep the fight going. Also, I know we saw he had a tweet that went kind of viral.
Yeah. Marquez?
Yeah, he basically outed some guy in his Instagram comments in the DMs was talking shit to him, and he just posted it, and it was actually really funny. He like posted it, and then the kid kept being like, "Oh, like why are you posting it? Like stop posting it." And he just kept posting, like he would just keep posting the next one and the next one. It was very funny.
I like.
And then
that.
the kid, he was like, look like the kid like all your fans are sending me death threats now. Like you're doing this to my family. He's like, and he just kept saying, "I've done nothing to harm you. I've simply just posted what you sent to me."
Yeah.
It was so. I think Patty.
I like getting back on haters.
Patty commented on it. A few other fighters commented were like good shit, like fuck people like this.
Absolutely.
Which I was like, they do put on an awesome fight.
Messaging fighters like "fuck you" after a loss.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what a scumbag. I'm like, the guy put on a good fight. He got knocked out. He was a fucking warrior in there. He got beat by a really good fighter.
And it's usually the guys who send those messages that have like $15 on the fight.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
It's not somebody who has like a lot of money on the fight and lost a lot of money. It's like a guy that like $10.
He has 50 to his name. He lost 20.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with putting just 10 points on the fight, of course. But don't be the scumbag that goes in, goes, yo, hey, Julian Marquez.
Like fuck you.
There's got to be something to if you're putting a lot of money on the fight. You probably understand the fight game a little more.
Well, for sure,
and you probably understand how it's like. Yeah, like sometimes you lose.
You just understand gambling. It's like, you're literally rolling especially as volatile as betting at MMA is. I mean,
like this
like
week,
one shot, shut the lights off. That's just the way it goes.
Week I got
that's the game you play.
I got killed.
Me too.
On this card?
Yeah, I got killed.
Yeah, Rodriguez was one of my only wins.
DePaula, Robocop was my only one because DePaula killed me.
On all the parlays.
And then I had Dawkins in a parlay with Ramos.
Yeah, the Spinnin Backfist parlay.
Spinnin Backfist parlay. And then, it was tough because underdogs roared during this card, but all my bets on my underdogs were not the ones that won. It was like, oh, it wasn't like I was betting all heavy favorites. It was like, no, you just picked the wrong dog.
Picking the wrong dogs is the worst.
Also, White Belt MMA says, are you guys giving prediction for Friday's Bellator card? I don't know what we're going to do because I just realized since we're flying to PFL tomorrow, we're going to
well, do you guys want to do?
I don't know how we'll do that.
I mean, we could Zoom you guys in
We could Zoom Thursday.
And then me and Lee could be here.
Yeah.
And then we could Zoom you in like this.
That would work.
And then we could and then we do the PFL preview, Bellator preview, UFC preview.
We could do that on Thursday. I'm down Thursday.
That works.
And then like me and Lee can sit like here.
Yeah.
I think that would work. We'll book a room. And
cool.
then whenever works with you guys.
All right. So look out for that White Belt MMA. We'll talk Bellator, we'll talk PFL, we'll talk UFC. We'll do all of that on Thursday. Moving along in the UFC Austin card.
Though?
Not old.
He looks a little bit old.
Yeah. I want to say he's like, what is he, early 30s, I think?
Okay, so
he looks like he's like Glover's age.
He's a little less than that.
Is he even younger than that?
No way is this guy.
My guess was going to be like 32.
30, even.
Okay.
He's got nuts. a lot. So I'm excited for. I'm also excited for like Julian Marquez. His time in UFC is not even close to finished either. Like sometimes you get caught, we'll see him again.
Entertaining fighter
RoboCop pisses me off though. He could have taken. Every single fight, his submission prop is like 3-1, plus 350, plus 400, something like that, because of how insane of a grappler and wrestler he is, and he just wants to go out there and chuck knucks every single time.
Honestly, got Marquez's back for a second, right? I remember.
He didn't do much.
I remember he did hop on his back for a second at one point.
I think he.
He
jumped.
He kind of jumped on him, and then I think Marquez was able to kind of like get him off a little bit, shake him off.
The next two fights we could kind of talk about together because our interviews are going to start in 10 minutes. Joaquin Buckley got a technical knockout because, man, he shut Durev's eye just completely.
Beat the shit out of him.
Nasty as
really
fuck.
really great performance by Buckley.
Yeah, as a big underdog.
The Ismagulov-Kudalade fight. It was a good 3-round decision. Just
real quick on the Buckley, crazy that they had been training partners with Durev. And Duriev had said multiple times, multiple interviews, this was an easy fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
easy fight, and just got his ass beat.
For being a Russian, his wrestling sucks.
Yeah, not great. Buckley, whenever he hit him hard. He touched him up.
So someone else explained to me this. How do you fuck up the cards? We thought it was 28-28.
I knew as soon as they read that.
Fight.
Okay,
I was like,
I believe the announcer just read it wrong.
The announcer read it wrong.
It was actually.
It didn't matter. I know because
it was. So it really was. It was a 29-28 for Guram. That was a split.
But how does the announcer say it wrong?
I don't know.
How
do you say 28-28?
Yeah, people fuck up.
Yeah.
Because that's why you see. But still, I will say
stop motion over
regardless of that,
that looked a little better.
Looked better.
It
looks fine.
The 30-27 card for Ismagulov was horseshit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought Guram round 1 was the clearest round of the 3.
Correct.
Yeah. I thought because when they said 28-28, which obviously that was not the case. When they first said it, I was like, that has to be a 10-8 I thought none of them were warranted of 10-8. But if they chose one, I thought 10-8 Guram would clearly be for the first round, which I don't agree with. But I thought that was the most dominant round of the 3. I was very surprised he lost. You can give the other 2 rounds to Ismagulov, I guess. I don't really agree. They were both like coin flip rounds. I really believe that, but I don't know. Tough break for Guram. I thought he fought pretty well. Like I said, he clearly won the first round in my opinion, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, it's like how it goes. Yeah. That would have really stunk if we got the parlay to that place.
I know, because you watched the first round for Guram.
Imagine if we had lost on Cater, like losing like that.
Oh, yeah.
Ev sent us a funny text. He was like, spin zone. Now we can we don't have to sweat out
the parlay. We can just enjoy the card.
And what a card.
Fact, we did get to enjoy it. Kevin Holland in the co-main event got an amazing win over Tim Means, another Texas boy that got the crowd behind him, crowd going wild for him on his walkout, wild for him during his win. It was nice to see Kevin Holland get a big win like this.
He had a big pop. Good for him.
Yeah.
And you see,
I like him.
Me too.
I love him too because he's down to fight anybody.
Yeah.
Even after he's like, Sean Brady, what's up? Like he's
the
guy that no one wants to fight. He's like, what's up? I'll fight you.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? Give me. He was like, wait, give me September.
Oh, we forgot. Herb called the knee to the chest. That was not a great call.
It didn't look that bad on the replay. Like I can see
because his chin was tucked.
I can see it from his point of view.
Yeah.
Right. But it shouldn't have been called, obviously.
Yeah. Shout out Kevin Holland though.
He's the man.
Great.
He looks great at 170.
Thing is like Kevin Holland can fight a Sean Brady, know that he may lose that, and he'll be fine in the UFC. Some of these guys, it's like if you lose one of these fights, it's like you get set back like a year or two. But
he's already not ranked, so it's kind of like fuck it.
Holland does deserve that though. Like he has built himself up in a way that he took. Did you hear that?
That's one of our guests joining, I believe.
Nice. We can talk about the caterer afterwards.
Yeah.
Or why not start?
If they're on the stream, I'm not sure that they're officially like it doesn't appear the camera's on yet.
So that may just be the PR.
We could stall for time as well.
All right. So the cater Emmett fight.
The Cater Emmett fight, I thought was a great fight. I thought lived up to what we wanted out of it. Shocking that Emmett fought a fight where he didn't get a knockdown in 5 rounds.
I said
Cater's got a chin, man.
I scored it for Cater. Did you guys score it for Cater?
I absolutely scored it for Cater. I actually was surprised that obviously Emmett's going to believe in himself. He said he thought he wanted 4-1. I honestly thought if it was 4-1 anyway, it was Cater.
Yeah.
Because I thought
Cater 1-2-3.
I thought Cater clearly won 4 and 5. Yeah. I was shocked, absolutely shocked that one of the scorecards gave 4 to Emmett. I thought that was how we talked about with Guram was the clear first round. I thought round 4 of the 5 rounds was the clearest for anybody, and it was obviously for Cater.
Yeah.
I could not believe that Emmett got the 4th round. The first 3 rounds were all very close. I think the third round I thought was Emmett's. I thought the first round was Cater's. I thought the second round was very close. I leaned Cater. But I would have no issue with Emmett for second round. It was very, very close.
I did see a lot of Emmett scorecards on MMA Media too, which made me be like, all right.
There was I didn't 48-47 for Emmett. I don't think is like a terrible card by any means. I just thought a 49-46 was
that's horrible.
Was bad. I don't think there was actually on this.
I'm on MMA decisions right now.
I know it was mostly
heavy Cater.
It was heavy Cater. There was a few
Emmets.
You
usually don't see like 5 or 6 for the other.
I'm with you. It's not robbery. Like I get it. Like
48-47, which there was no 49-46s on the cards. They were both 48-47. I actually did see something that was weird, where it was someone pulled this thing up. If you added all the rounds up, like just for each, like all the 3, that Cater won more rounds. It was like a weird the way it was like it was the way it was structured.
I see what you're saying. Just on the
just if you like added all the scorecards up like unevenly.
That's an interesting way to go about it.
I believe we have our first guest joining us now.
Eblen.
Johnny Eblen. There he is. What's going on,
guys?
How are you?
Oh, just chilling. Fight week, hanging out at the hotel, keeping the weight low, and just enjoying the process.
Hold on 1 second. We got a little bit of audio issues over here. You're coming in. You're blowing in our eardrums. It's not your fault. It's our fault. We got you too loud, and you just made us deaf for a second.
My bad.
Here, do you got? No, not your bad. You need more volume?
No, less.
Less. Yeah. We all need less.
Turn it down to like 25, even lower.
Thank you for hanging in there through these audio issues. This is very unprofessional, but
no worries. It's all good.
All right. Give us a test.
How you doing?
Way better.
There we go.
Way better. Now we can turn you up.
There we go. I think we're good now.
Perfect.
So how you feeling fight week? Do you like fight week? Do you enjoy doing the fight week kind of scheduled stuff? Do you like being in the routine?
Yeah. I mean, I like just going through the routine because it means I'm close to getting to the fight. But the travel, I'm not too fond on, and I don't know. I guess I just really love fighting. So since it's the process into getting into the cage and fighting and then getting paid, yeah, I enjoy it to a degree. But there's things that I don't enjoy the most. But like the weight cut, it's not that fun. But it is what it is. It's part of the job.
Do you have a big weight cut?
No, nothing crazy. I keep my weight pretty low out of camp, and then in camp, I'm pretty strict with my diet. I'm not even that strict. I'm really good at not blowing up too big, and I fight around the weight I'm supposed to fight at. So I get up to around like 200, 205 out of camp, and then in camp I'm around 200, 198, and I kind of just range from there. And then when I get down here for fight week, I get down to about 95, and I cut about 10 to 8 pounds of water weight the day of, and I'm dehydrated for maybe an hour, and I make weight, and then I rehydrate and eat.
What's the post weight cut meal?
Ooh, honestly, this one's probably gonna be some sweet potato. Gonna do
fries or not?
A ribeye steak? No, not fries.
Fries.
I thought maybe he wanted the sweet potato fries.
These guys fighting.
I'll make my own sweet potato mash probably. Put a little cinnamon, some
keep
butter,
it healthy,
some honey. Yeah, I'll do a steak. Probably some rice.
Yeah.
Get some fruit in too. Apples, bananas, whatever, kiwis. Freaking
mixing in some kiwis.
I'm a huge fruit fan. So
I'm allergic to all
mangoes. You're allergic to all fruit. You're fucking lying.
No,
that's wild.
I'm telling you, I got as much wrong with me as I look like I got wrong with me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's bad.
I was on. Speaking of health, I was on your Instagram and I was watching some of your workout videos. Yeah. You're doing it's. I haven't really seen other MMA guys go about how you train specifically with that. I don't know what to call it,
it's called functional patterns. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just wondering, do you think that gives you an edge in a certain way? It looks legit, but I just have never seen it before.
For sure. So FP is all about prioritizing the fundamental human movements, which is standing, walking, running, and throwing. And they resort back to these when they do corrective exercises or so on, like when they're creating like dynamic movements and stuff like that. It's going to revert back to your fundamental movements. But anyway, before I did FP, I used to do traditional training, traditional therapy when I got injured and stuff. But the problem was I was getting injured a lot. And since I've dove into FP and utilized their principles, I don't really get injured, and I'm becoming a better athlete. I'm moving better and I'm feeling better. So definitely working for me.
Are there any other fighters that you work out with that do similar things, or even other athletes?
No, other athletes like Kyle Dake does FP. I want to say there's another Manny Alonso. He's a basketball player. He plays down in Mexico, actually.
Okay, nice.
If you jump on Instagram and look up functional patterns, you can see like their Instagram page, and they get a lot of good results. They're all about like getting people to with cerebral palsy to walk better, or people that can't like stand up out of their wheelchair to stand up out of their wheelchair and walk.
And how did you get turned on to this?
I was chronically injured. I felt terrible too. Shit. I was just fucked up, and it was kind of like a last resort thing. I think Kyle Dake had a similar issue. Like after his college wrestling career, he was just messed up, and like he was thinking about retiring, and this was like kind of his last resort because he did all the traditional stuff, went to doctors, went to chiropractors, did everything. Nothing was working for him. Last ditch effort, boom. I mean, dude's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. And I was kind of in the same boat, I was getting surgeries all the time, always hurt, chronically injured, and boom.
Could you see yourself becoming kind of not even just an advocate or a trainer for this after your fighting career?
Possibly. I don't really like to train people.
Okay.
But I'm more of a guy that likes to advocate for things that are going to help people.
Awesome.
Like, I want to point people in the right direction of like, if you want to get your shit together and be a net positive on society, I'm gonna show you the way of what I think is good, in a sense.
I like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what I want to do with my platform. Like a lot of athletes don't do that. They want to be cool. They want to fucking show off flashy cars. They want to make a bunch of money. Like I want to make a bunch of money too, but I want to give back to the community and help people out and kind of point them in the right direction.
Now you're fighting Gegard. This is obviously a huge fight for you. You're on all the posters and everything. It's spotlight on you. Is there anything you miss about fighting on the regional MMA scene? We hear great stories about that from fighters sometimes. Is there any aspect of that where you're like, I don't know, that was kind of sick?
Nah, I didn't really care.
Oh, really? Nothing.
I don't really miss anything about it. I mean, not really. No, I like where I'm at. I like the big show.
That's a pretty good quote for Bellator. Like Bellator's so good, you're not going to miss anything about where you were, where you came from.
No, I mean I fought for Shamrock. That was fun. It was like a small. I would say like the smaller environment and like it's more intimate. You know what I mean? There's less like rules and shit. You can kind of do what you want. Like after the fight, like fucking run out of the cage and go say what's up to your family. Like I did that my last fight, and Bellator's like, no, you can't. Like, yo, like, like telling me, like, no, you're not supposed to do this. And like they're like escorting me out, and then like it's it's Bellator. They're a big show, so they have a lot more rules, and you have to abide by them. And I get it. I guess that's the only thing is they're a little bit more lax back in the day when I fought for Shamrock FC.
Yeah.
But no, man, I don't really miss anything really. I like where I'm at. I want to continue to push, to get better and push up the ranks, I guess, in a sense, like Bellator, UFC, whatever. You know what I mean?
Does it feel any different? This one, like fighting, like obviously, I would imagine you consider he's your best opponent, like fighting a legend like Gegard. Feel any different fight week?
Nah, it's like any other fight week. In my head, every fight it's I treat it like a title fight. I train hard. I obviously this is the actual title fight, but like my whole career, like especially since I signed with Bellator, I've been very professional about it. I treat it like every fight is a title fight. Like the guy's gonna go in there and try to take my head off regardless of how good he is. So I train like that.
Do you guys feel as fighters slighted, or specifically you slighted when you're slated as an underdog or maybe not as big of a favorite as you? Do you even pay attention to that or not? Not at all?
Yeah, I mean, I somewhat pay attention to it, but not really. Like I acknowledge it.
Okay.
But I really don't care because I'm secure in my abilities. Like I know what I can do. I'm at one of the best gyms in the world. I train with some of the best guys in the world. I actually had Sean Strickland come out, number 4 middleweight in the UFC. And I mean, he's a good dude, and we got some fucking good training. Dude, I like that guy a lot.
Yeah, you can't move past that. Though.
Yeah, no, Sean Strickland. You got any Sean Strickland stories?
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, there's so many legends.
No, there's a good one. This is a good one. So I went out to Vegas. It was after my fight with Salter. I'm going to go like train a bit with actually the functional patterns dude, Naughty. He has a place out in Vegas. But anyway, I was going out there. I was going to go check out Extreme Couture, and I got in contact with their coach. But like next thing I know, I'm getting like Sean Strickland's like liking all my posts on Instagram. I'm like, what the fuck? He messaged me. He's like, hey man, I heard you're in town. If you want to get some training in, boom. All right. So I'm like, all right, I take him up on it. Dude, we get after it that whole week. Like week and a half. It's like some of the hardest fucking training. And like, bro, I haven't been in camp. I've been chilling, like relaxing.
Yeah.
But like we just got after it. I sparred him like I think we sparred 2 or 3 times, like 5 rounds, shit like that.
Wow.
We wrestled 5 rounds straight one day. Met him at a boxing gym, boxed with a professional boxer with like 15 pro wins, and him. We like did like a round robin type thing. Dude, we got after it. And then anyway, this is where the story starts. That's how I met Sean. Great dude. But like he's on Twitter. I guess he got like banned from Twitter or something.
Yeah.
Bro, so I'm friends with Kayla Harrison. Like call her MMA Kayla because like her I think her like Instagram handles like Judo Kayla or something. I started calling her MMA Kayla, but that's what she is on my phone. But I guess Sean like has made some like pretty like mean tweets about her. Like,
correct.
Like you already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't.
We're well aware. Yeah.
So when Sean told me he was going to come out to ATT, and like obviously word got around, and like Kayla heard about it. Kayla was like, or Sean was like, bro, Kayla Harrison fucking trains at your gym. I'm like, yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, I kind of saw what you put up, and like, he's like, oh shit, my bad. And like, I guess he like DM'd her like, hey, I just say a bunch of shit. Don't take it personally, blah, blah, blah. But it's just so funny because like he showed up to the gym. Kayla started kind of, like trying to ignore him. Sean came up and said, what's up? And then Kayla's like, hey, you have to bow to me. And Sean kind of looks at her all weird and like just turns away and like walks off. Oh, hold up.
Ooh.
Wait. Sorry about that.
Oh no,
Is it the perfect moment in the story?
Zoomed in now? What the hell?
Yeah, it's like you're like.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. What the... all right. Well, that's weird. Anyway, where was I at with this story?
Sean was going
to bow.
So Kayla's like trying to get him to be, like kind of like passive towards her, but he's like, nah. He just walks off, ignores her. But they end up being like cool in the end. I think they're like kind of they're cool now. You know what I mean? But it's just funny because like Sean like made some fucking hilarious ass tweets, and then ends up having to like run into her in person at the gym because he's like coming to train with me and Artem Levin, who's a kickboxer. I trained with him a bunch this camp too, but it was just fucking hilarious to see the dynamic all play out, and it's just like.
I'm glad they made up. It's like a happy ending.
Like you troll somebody on Twitter and then you have to fucking like run into them and like deal with them for a whole week. Like,
yeah.
I almost imagine she would kind of respect that he wouldn't bend the knee.
Oh, for sure she respected
it. If he would have just bowed, it would have been like, oh, come on.
Oh,
dude,
Sean, you're not about it. I thought you were,
Yeah, exactly.
Sean doesn't work out. He
loves to spar. That guy loves
to spar. He only spars, right?
That's all he does, man. It's pretty funny. The only time we don't spar is when we just do 5-minute round grappling. Like one guy starts on his back. If you get up, you switch positions. Like we do that and we spar. That's literally it.
Is he one of those guys that's just constantly talking about fighting if he's not fighting too? Like it's the only thing on his mind? Or has he got crazy shit on his mind?
He does other shit too. Like I think he rock climbs and stuff. He rides motorcycles. He does cool shit. Like he's a normal dude, really.
Seems like an adrenaline junkie.
He doesn't have a filter and he just says shit.
Yeah.
Like you probably think of some shit and you're like, wait, I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
And you just like don't say it. I think he just like boom.
He lets it fly.
He doesn't even care. Just lets it fly.
Yeah. That's Sean Strickland. I mean, that's basically
I respect it, man.
That's the story that we wanted out of Sean Strickland. Yeah.
What do you do when you're not fighting? What do you like to do?
Me? Dude. I like to like go get out in nature, go to the beach. Recently got a Harley, so I've been riding that a little bit.
Sick.
Nice.
I saw the photo on your Instagram. It looks sick.
Yeah, I started out with a 883, like a 2003 883 Sportster. Ended up trading that in. Got a Lowrider S, a little bit more power, a lot more power. I think it's 114 cubic inch. But like, yeah, man, I'll just do that. But really, I'm training all the time. I'll travel a little bit, but usually it's for training. I like to go get out in nature and camp here and there. Yeah, that's really about it, bro. I like to eat. I'll go out to eat at good restaurants.
How long have you been shooting guns?
Oh yeah, I like to shoot guns. I've been shooting.
I saw that a lot on your Instagram.
Yeah, I bought my first gun back in college. I bought a pistol. I think I was like 20. What's the legal age? 21 to have a pistol?
It depends on the state. Usually 18. Yeah.
18, right? I think when I turned 21, I bought a gun. I think that's what it was. And then I recently got my conceal and carry. I bought a few more guns along the way.
Nice.
And, I plan on buying some more after this.
So are you usually strapped when you're going around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Depends on where I'm going, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I still follow the rules and the laws and stuff.
Of course.
You don't want to be carrying at a place you shouldn't be carrying, but yeah, I always have a gun like near me too. Like
I always got two near me. Am I right?
What's that?
I got two near me, one on each side. All right, Johnny. We really appreciate the time. Best of luck.
No problem.
This is biggest fight of your career, and
Title
hopefully,
fight.
Hopefully you get the win. We
Yeah,
appreciate the time.
Just go in there and fuck them up. Have fun
That's
with
right.
it.
All right, now we are going to throw it over to another guest who has just joined the show, Danny Sabatello.
Oh,
Danny, what's going on, man?
Oh, I think we.
What's up, boys?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing well. We're excited to be joined by you on Fight Week. We appreciate the time. How are we feeling just a couple of days out from this fight? This is obviously probably the most eyes that have ever been on a Danny Sabatello fight in your career.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like shit, but that's just because I'm cutting weight right now. That's just kind of standard protocol with Fight Week. Something that we do in fighting is cut weight. None of these other athletes know about that. They probably couldn't take the weight cut as it is. Everyone thinks fighting's a hard sport. Hardest part about it is the weight cut. And you could see that through my fucking opponent. He misses weight all the time because he's a little bitch. He'll probably miss weight this time too because he's a pussy. But yeah, I feel like it is what it is. Kind of got to do what you got to do. No one likes making weight, but you do what you do. And yeah, I mean, I'm feeling as good as can be.
We were just talking to Johnny about his weight cut. Was your weight cut, is it drastic? Do you try to slim down throughout camp? What's yours like?
Yeah, I mean, mine sucks. There's no two ways to put it. I like cutting weight. I believe in it. I think a lot of people can't cut weight. If you don't do it the right way, it sucks. But I've been doing it my whole life. I grew up wrestling, started wrestling at the age of 4. So I've been cutting weight since a little kid. This isn't anything new to me. I'm just kind of tough mentally. One of my best attributes about fighting is my mental aspect. And I'm just mentally tough. So I go in there bigger than my guys usually, just because I know how to cut weight and I kind of like it. A lot of these guys hate cutting weight. I don't like it, but a part of me kind of likes it because it means I'm fight ready. It means I'm in the fucking zone. It means I'm ready to fucking kill somebody. Right now, I'm really testy right now, obviously, with not having too many calories or too much water. But that's kind of how I like it. In a couple of days, I'm going in this cage with another guy, and one of us might not make it out. So you kind of have that. You kind of have to have that mindset going in there, and it just means I'm ready for the fucking fight. Yeah, the weight cut sucks, but you know what? I'm ready to fucking go, guys.
And you said that you this is one of your Instagram captions. This is a job to everyone else. To me, I'm just addicted to seeing people bleed. When did that addiction start for you?
Yeah, a young age.
Okay.
I started wrestling when I was a little kid, but I always knew I was going to be fighting once I stopped wrestling. I wrestled in the Big Ten at Purdue University. After I got my degree and graduated from there, I went straight into MMA, moved back to Chicago, started partying a lot. Seeing that, I can't accomplish my goals. I can't become a world champion if all I'm doing is partying and staying in Chicago. So packed up all my shit, went to the best gym in the world down in South Florida at American Top Team. So I've been training with absolute killers. I got the best training partners, best teammates, best coaches. And I've been down there for like 4-ish years now. But yeah, throughout my whole life, I always knew I was going to fucking fight. I was a good wrestler because I've been a good fighter. But now it's just time for it to be showtime. I think people are starting to fucking see me. People are starting to see that I'm electric. None of this shit ever works unless you're winning. The good thing is I'm talking shit, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything unless I win. And that's what I do. I fucking win. And not just that, I win dominantly. You look at my last fight against Jornal Lugo, and I split that motherfucker open. I went in there, and the canvas was gray. I came out, it was red with his fucking blood. Dyed my hair blonde. It came out, and it was all fucking pink after the fight because of his blood was in it. And that's just what I do when I fight these guys. I fuck them up. I torture them, and that's just what I'm going to do June 24th at the Mohegan Sun against Leandro Higo, is I'm going to torture this motherfucker. He's a mental midget. He's a pussy, and he's soft. I'm the exact opposite of that, and I'm going to make him fucking pay. I'm going to have him want to get out of there early. He's going to get desperate because he's going to realize that skill for skill, I'm way better than this motherfucker, but I'm not going to give him the easy way out and finish him right away. I'm going to fucking torture him, bring him into championship rounds because it's a 5-round fight, and then just TKO him in the 4th. Make him remember this fight with Danny Sabatello.
You just got me fired up right now.
I know I'm fired up. Like you
just got me ready to go.
The true killer mentality. Like I don't have that in me. Where did that come from for you? Like where you have this mentality that like, it seems hard to get through to that soft spot in Danny Sabatello's brain.
Yeah, I've just been this way my whole life, and it's just what I do always. It doesn't matter if it's a fight, if we're doing a thumb war, if we're playing pinball or shooting darts. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna want to beat you. The fact of the matter is, I take competition so seriously. If somebody's trying to beat me and trying to embarrass me in front of my friends, family, teammates, and everybody, fuck that. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna do everything in my power to stop that. And not only that, but dominate you, beat you, and make you look pathetic. And that's just kind of how it is with these fights. I take shit very personal to me. This fighting shit is all I care about. It's all my life is. I don't have hobbies. Hobbies are for average people. I'm not average. I don't do that shit. I don't hunt. I don't play video games. I don't do anything. I go to the best gym in the world and I train twice every day, every fucking day. If I'm not doing that, I'm with my boys getting fucked up and I don't have a fight. So, all I do is really train. So I take this shit very seriously. But yeah, competition to me is everything.
So you're down American Top Team. You said you were in Chicago partying too much. Is it hard to stay away from the party culture down South Florida, or nah?
Yeah, just because my friends are big partiers. But
yeah,
you know what? When it's during the week, I don't have any distractions. My friends are very good at not inviting me to fucking shit going on during the week. Obviously on weekends, if I don't have a fight, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can party. But during fight camp, yeah, I mean, if my buddy's got a yacht and he's got a bunch of chicks and booze, obviously they're not inviting me because they don't even want me there. You know what? They're good friends. They want what's best for my career, and the best for my career is not to, get ahead of myself and party too much.
And you take their girls probably, right?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, but when I was back in Chicago, it was actually the year that the Cubs won the World Series.
Okay.
And I was in Wrigleyville. I lived on Lakeshore Drive, so I was like a half a mile away from Wrigley Field. We were going to the fucking Cubs games every fucking day. It was nuts. And then obviously when they won it, Wrigleyville was just absolute anarchy. So yeah, I really had to get out of there. But you know what? It's not the best place going from Chicago to South Florida. I live in Fort Lauderdale, probably like the capital party of the world.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up there, so I don't have too many people down there begging me to go out and all that shit. I got my teammates there making sure that I keep on a steady road. So I am good and I'm mature now. Before when I was in college and right out of college, obviously I was immature, getting in trouble, getting in fights and getting too fucked up. But now that I'm a little bit more mature, I know what's important. And winning this Bellator Bantamweight Championship is what's most important to me.
That's awesome.
The Italian Gangster might be my favorite nickname in the fight game right now. Where'd you get that nickname?
Yeah, so growing up, I always loved those Rocky movies. Rocky Balboa, he was the Italian Stallion. So growing up, people kind of called me the Italian Stallion a little bit. And when it came towards the end of my wrestling career and I was going to jump into MMA, I needed a nickname. And I didn't really want the Italian Stallion just because that's been taken. That's Rocky's nickname. I want to be unique. And plus, I'd fuck up Rocky anyways. So one of my buddies at Purdue said that, what about the Italian Gangster? And I just fucking loved it ever since. But of course, all of them claim that they came up with it. So we don't know exactly who came up with it. We got about 10 fucking Purdue wrestlers that say they came up with it. But,
it's such a good nickname. I see why they're trying to take the credit.
Yeah, it is really good. And it's just so fitting, Plus, it's my personality. You know what? I'm not fake. I'm not corny. I'm not like Henry Cejudo or any of these cheese balls. This is just me being authentic. And that's just why it works. I think people that understand my fighting and my fucking skill set and my talking shit ability, they realize that it's very real just because they know that, you know what, if you saw me on the street, I'd be the same way. I can't say the same about these other fucking pussies that try to put on this act and all this fucking bullshit. This isn't fake wrestling. This is MMA. We go in there and we kick the shit out of each other. Nothing about this is fake.
So you obviously been outspoken. You just said Henry Cejudo. I've heard you be outspoken about Colby. Is there anyone out there who you think is real, who you do admire, who talks shit, who you appreciate even when you're younger, even right now?
Nah, I mean, when I was younger, I didn't really look up to too many crazy figures, from Chicago. So obviously so many people like Michael Jordan, but I was a little bit different. I didn't really look up to people like that. I looked up to my older brothers, Joey and Vinny. Michael Jordan's great, but let's say I get in a fight on the fucking courtyard at school or something. Is Michael Jordan going to come help me, or are my two older brothers going to come help me? No. So obviously I didn't look up to too many people that I didn't know. One of my cousins, Mikey, was a big fucking rock star in my eyes, so I always really looked up to family and people of that aspect. And in terms of the MMA game, there's no one I really look up to. Obviously, you got guys out there like Conor McGregor who just absolutely changed the sport for what it is. You can love or hate the guy, but you got to respect him just because he's done so much for MMA. Chael Sonnen is another guy that was a pioneer who made the game what it is. I'm not trying to be like either of those guys. I'm not saying I love them. I'm not saying I hate them, but they deserve respect. I think in my case, I'm just a unique case. I want to be my own person. I don't want myself to remind anybody of anybody. I want to just have you be reminded of the Italian gangster, Danny Sabatello, and that's it.
I love that. Do you enjoy all of this, that you're getting all of the attention? Is this what you envisioned around a Danny Sabatello fight week?
Yeah, absolutely. I fucking love all this shit. You know, part of this business isn't just going in there and fighting. Part of it is doing the interviews, cutting weight, doing all that stuff. And honestly, I fucking love it. I love everything about it. There isn't a part of the fight game that I don't love. You know, part of the cutting weight shit that I do love is I think I can appreciate the little things more. You know, I look at water differently than the average human. I look at food differently. Man, I'm going through hell right now cutting this fucking weight, but it makes it even sweeter when I'm done doing it. So I think if you're a fighter and you're cutting weight, whether you're a fighter, wrestler, jiu-jitsu player, fucking boxer, it is what it is. If you're cutting weight, you kind of appreciate the little things in life a little bit more. And I don't take that for granted. I don't take that lightly. So I know in a few days, I'll be very happy, hydrated. So yeah, again, I love all this. I love the interviews. I love the eyes on me. I love walking to the cage and someone yelling, "Fuck you," so I can give them the figure back. I love fucking all the hate. I love all the love. I love all of it.
Yeah, we got to get him. Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok. I'm not a huge fan of that Kardashian bullshit.
All right. I was
going to say, you think he's on TikTok?
No. We need to get him. Like, I'm thinking from a business perspective. We got to get him in front of the camera all the time. Like the way he's talking, everything. Yeah. It's like he's a walking soundbite, and it would be massive for.
I just got a Twitter. Bellator really wanted me to get a Twitter, so I got one about a month ago. But you know what? I've always been afraid of getting one just because I know if somebody fucking talks shit to me in my comment section, I'm going to try to find them and put their head through a fucking window.
All right.
I can't go on Twitter too much, but I do have one. I just made one. But yeah, I'm not huge into the social media bullshit. I don't give a fuck if someone's having a sandwich for lunch. I don't give a fuck about any of that. But yeah, I am going to do a little bit better job of that.
Yeah, you might need to hire someone like us to run it for you.
Yeah, we'll do.
You don't have to do it. We'll, run it, and we'll just put you out in front of it.
Let you guys take it over.
How do you toe the line of not fighting emotionally? Like, obviously, you're very fired up going into every fight, but not letting that affect your performance in the cage.
Yeah, well, just in general, I'm a very energetic, passionate, motivated person. That's just kind of coming out in my fight style as well. But when I'm in there, I just feel calm. I just kind of feel at home. A lot of these guys, they can't wait till it's over. One thing that you're going to hear when you're interviewing these people is they can't wait till after when they're partying and having fun and celebrating the W, where it's like, man, I fucking can't wait to just go in there and perform. I can't wait for my shin bone to be connected to his nose bone. I fucking love that. So I think mainly my thing is that I love this shit, and a lot of people don't actually love it. They say they do, but when they're in there, their jitters are through the roof. Their adrenaline's going off. They're going to go crazy in the first minute. But if you watch my fights, I'm just very calm, cool, and collected. But that's just because I have such a comfort in there. And I really don't know. Sometimes I don't have an answer. I just feel like I was made for this. And it's just really what I enjoy doing. So when you have something you enjoy doing, you don't have too much adrenaline. You don't have too much jitters. You don't get too nervous. You're kind of just there believing in the moment, taking it all in and soaking it all in. And that's what I do when I'm in there. I just love it. It sounds a little bit crazy because while I'm loving it, this other guy at the other side of the cage is bleeding from his fucking face. I go into each fight with goals, and this goal specifically against Higo on the 24th, my goal is to give him between 23 and 29 stitches on his face. So obviously I want to leave him scarred for life, have him remember the Danny Sabatello fight. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. But all while that's going on, I am going to be calm in there, and I'm just going to be at home.
That's a lot of stitches.
We'll have to get that prop in the sportsbook over 22 and a half stitches.
That is a lot of stitches, Danny.
Be over.
Take the over. Hey, no, I mean, yeah.
I love it.
The Danny Sabatello scar.
For real. That is a great note to end it on. Danny, we really appreciate the time, especially while you're doing this brutal weight cut. We're looking forward to your fight, and hopefully you get that dub and you get those stitches.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck.
All right. Two great guests.
He's the man.
Johnny and Danny, two new friends to the podcast.
I thought Johnny was great too.
Both are
It's
awesome.
tough when Danny comes on and steals the show, but I thought Johnny gave us some good sound bites.
Johnny was great. Yeah.
Like how he just changed his training and he says he was injured all the time and then changed
that. I'm like, maybe I should start working out like that. I got arthritis in my spine. Oh my God. It gives me fucking hell. Maybe I need to get into the fundamental movements.
I was looking at his Instagram while I was talking again, and improvements for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was a fighter before, but he just looks younger, better.
He's fighting for a world title now.
Yeah. So, and then Danny, I mean,
Danny's
walking
electric.
sound
Electric Factory.
Like I think
I love that you saw his Twitter bio just says "fuck you."
Yeah, I saw that.
I can't wait to watch both of them fight.
Yep.
Danny,
Hopefully we introduced you to some new fighters. I saw Logan said we introduced him to Danny. I love that. So hopefully you guys know about some fighters that you didn't know about.
We should just like
personality-wise.
make him an Instagram and a TikTok.
That's what I was
Real.
saying.
And just run it for him and then just be like, oh, like
Here you go.
let him just do the marketing for it and we'll just post the content.
Yeah.
So those two lines for those two fights are the guys that we just interviewed. We have Danny Sabatello minus 500.
Yep.
And
But
then
he said 4th round TKO. I remembered that.
Yep.
I put that in the back burner. Little late finish, little plus money there.
Rounds 4-5,
Yep.
something like that. Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
And then I
Sabatello
believe
wins inside the distance plus 100.
Wow.
Oh.
I'll bet on my guy to get a
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah.
I know Eblen, I think, is plus like 230, 235 range. money line.
Sabatello wins in round 4. This is not on the Barstool Sportsbook yet, but will be. But the market's set at 10-1.
Love that.
So Sabatello
I
round
mentally
4.
will have to, just because he said
You
it to me,
have
I will have
right?
to.
Yeah.
And then
Although the last time I did,
Johnny
Mcgee
is
kind of fucked me a little bit, but
He did. Yeah.
I'm due for a bounce back.
Yeah.
Johnny going up against Musasi. Is that who you say his last name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the 2-1 underdog. Musasi on some books is up to
Crazier
minus
things have
300.
happened.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a winnable fight. And
In that division too, he could throw big hands.
I credit to me for not bringing up. They're all in Connecticut right now, and I didn't bring it up once.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Credit to you. Yeah.
I told my mom this week, and I was back home in Connecticut about the Danbury, like just fighting fiction that or faction that is coming out of Danbury, Connecticut. She's like, "You're lying. Like, who are these people?" And I was like, "Mom, this guy's like was the light heavyweight champion of the world." And she's like, "Well, why are they in Connecticut?"
What do you explain? Like
Good
they're not
question.
from Connecticut.
And I said they
Yeah.
were all from, but she was like, "So how long have they been there?" And I told her Glover's been there for 2 decades. She's like, "Oh, okay, Danbury, Connecticut. Maybe you can go." I was like, I guess.
So you should go train there.
She's never watched, I think, an MMA fight ever.
Maybe you should go train there. I think you should do what your mom says.
Yeah, just hit up Glover. Just be like, do you want to do some rounds?
And I was like,
Can we train?
"Mom, they probably speak Portuguese there." And she's like, "I thought you said they're from Brazil."
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. If you're not an MMA fan, I could see how you don't know that.
It's 100% true. I think if you went around the office right now and asked
Oh, you're like, what,
everybody
they speak in Brazil? We would get so many Brazilian
or
or
Spanish,
Spanish. Yeah.
that's what my sister said.
Facts.
And my mother and sister, I think, are 2 smart women, and they thought it was
They were wrong about that one.
they were. But shout out those guys. I thought this was a great show.
Great show. Thank you to everyone.
Was there
for
any
tuning in.
headlines we wanted to? We talked about Nate Diaz, but is there any other really? I thought the
Nothing
Sean Brady Kevin Holland
huge.
was like is a good potential next fight
Yep.
for Holland.
And we could talk about headlines on Thursday as well.
What's next for Emmett though. Let's just end on that.
Well, he's number 4 now. I mean,
Yeah.
from what he said, he was like, I want to be next in line for the belt. And if you think about it, everyone in front of him has fought for, or Yair has not. But I mean, you have Ortega and Yair in front of him who are fighting in a month.
If Yair wins, do you face them off?
If Yair wins, I think he gets. We'll say, all right. So if Volkanovski wins and Yair wins, I think Yair has to get the next shot.
Yeah.
If
right.
Ortega wins and Volkanovski wins, honestly, kind of either of them win. It doesn't really matter. I think if Ortega wins, then I think Emmett could get the next shot, or maybe they make Ortega Emmett,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe Ortega.
and then
Emmett.
kind of give Ortega would kind of will his way into one more just out of default almost.
Yeah, it
if he
feels
just keeps
weird
winning.
to give Emmett, and I respect you could say won the fight. It feels weird to give him a title shot off that fight.
I think so too. I think him getting the winner of Yair Ortega would make sense.
I think that would be smart.
That'd be a great fight, also, regardless of who.
Definitely.
And Adesanya and Whitaker continue to bicker back and forth. Doesn't really change. Like
Also, the
probably
one
the
that-
third fight will happen again at some point.
Adesanya, did you see Adesanya's comment? We can talk about this just real quick. Adesanya said that his fight with Cannonier is going to look like Silva versus Boris Griffin.
Oh,
That he's just going to dominate
He's going
him.
to enter the Matrix.
And I will say the last time he said something like that was the Costa fight, and that pretty much was what happened. He
True.
just ran through him.
True. I hope
Can
so.
he-
I think he's thinking he's just way too fast.
I like Cannonier.
I do too.
I want a good performance out of Stylebender, an exciting performance.
He needs one.
it.
He could
Yeah.
use a knockout.
Because I mean, it's not like he's been bad, but
Just the last
Vettori
couple have
decision,
been
Whitaker
yeah.
decision.
For the casual fan, like he has been boring. You know?
And he
I
came
want to
onto
remove
the-
that stigma off his name.
He came into the scene so fast with everything, and then like that knockout of Whitaker was sick.
The knockouts leading up to it too.
The knockouts with Brunson.
Yep.
He had the touch of death against Brunson. Yeah.
So we'll see, and that fight, we'll talk about that down the road, but that would be awesome.
I can see.
I'm really excited for that.
I was imagining I think big speed advantage he sees. He's just gonna piece him up.
Yeah.
And Whitaker and Vettori is in France.
The France card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All
That's
right.
a great fight.
Thank you to everyone for tuning in today, and we will see you on Thursday.